Oh. Sour Skittles. This is my life. Penis pump, penis pump, penis pump. Wrestler main scows.
Trying to survive.
The sourness of Skittles.
This is just missing fruity, delicious, fruity,
delicious, fruity, delicious.
Aren't sour Skittles really
and
delicious?
Also sour Skittles
because they're, because they're very hard.
And now the WWE Slam of the Week is brought to you by Skittles. Share the rainbow, taste the rainbow.
Let me just tell you right now that tonight, Raw is being brought to you by, are you ready? Oh, yeah, brought to you by Fruity.
I don't know if they're having fun doing this or not.
Fruity Skittles. Oh, like this. And my fruity delicious.
Oh, no.
Fruity Skittles. Okay.
Oh, God. JR, calm down. JR, calm down. Oh, no, King, no.
All right. That's the start of our WrestleMania 18 review.
Skittles, guys.
Our Skittles. we are here from the... Oh, shit. We forgot to introduce ourselves again.
Yeah, WrestleBoys. That's our podcast.
Yeah, WrestleBoys, the podcast. That one is Allie. He's the guy who runs this shit.
Yes.
I'm Mega Fighter. I was dragged into this. And this one's Rocktan. We don't know how he got here, but he won't leave.
He set up a small tent. He set up a small tent, and he's sustaining himself entirely on, like, those big tubs of cheese balls you can get from, like, most grocery stores.
No, he's got, like, really old tins of, like, Christmas popcorn. Where you got, like, the 3 different flavors, and no one eats the caramel ones.
I like the caramel ones. I don't like the
dad,
butter. The butter ones suck.
Butter ones suck. I feel like it's the butter, then the cheese, and then like no one touches the caramel except for you, you weirdo.
Well, mine didn't even have a separate sections. It was just like a cardboard separator, and I pulled it out.
All right. So we now that we got that done, WrestleMania 18 coming from the Sky Dome in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, which previously hosted WrestleMania 6.
Yeah, it's big. It's the showcase of the Immortals. It is everybody's grandfather. It is...
Yeah, it's like, I think, we start off, I forgot. Well, first we start off with, are you ready for some fucking saliva?
Yeah, Josie Scott.
We get, like, basically a video recapping all the feuds, basically.
All the
like,
feuds.
All the storylines heading up to this matches.
It was pretty much an AMV, but with real life Josie Scott, who tells the crowd to get their ass off their shoulders.
Well, he tells WrestleMania X-8 to do it, which is, I don't think that's how that works, Josie.
Get your ass off your shoulders.
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view.
And the crowd is like, we're not some crazy contortionist. We can't actually do that. Shut up.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The Sky Dome is an open-air arena, right?
No, it's a dome.
Okay, so the reactions here are absolutely genuine and not delayed. Got it.
I believe the Sky Dome is a dome that can open up.
It opens partially. It doesn't fully open.
Because the thing about open-air arenas is the atmosphere is very weird when you do it, and there's like a delay in the reactions because it's coming down.
Yeah, but here's the most important thing. WWF New York.
WWF New York, please go. And then we get a hype package for the pay-per-view itself. And God, can you imagine how fucking self-indulgent? Like, that's what I hate about this. It is so, like, WrestleMania, it's so great. It's the fucking...
They have, like, various interviews and quips of the other wrestlers just being like, I'm gonna prove myself at WrestleMania. It's the biggest wrestle event. It's sports entertainment good big time.
Yeah, this was cool when I first saw this in, like, SVR 2010, when it was, like, to the Road to WrestleMania thing, because then it makes you hyped about playing the game. But seeing it on the show itself is like, I bought the pay-per-view. You don't need to sell it to me.
Exactly.
And here's an advertisement for the thing you just dropped $50 for.
It's so much hype and pageantry. It's just ridiculous.
WrestleMania is the event.
you already have the hype. We're already hyped to see this. We don't need more hype.
WrestleMania is the event that costs $10 more than the other ones.
Like, you don't have hype packages for the Super Bowl.
I want to ask everyone, did you make sure to watch this on Netscape?
Oh no.
No, we watched it on the WWE Network.
Oh, that's currently being bought by Peacock and is in the middle of transit at the moment.
Yes. Which would probably explain the weird like glitch I had in the middle of the show, but we start off with Rob Van Dam versus William Regal for
Rob
the
Van Dam
Intercontinental
starts everything.
Rob Van Dam, Mr. Opening Match.
Mr. I need to get this crowd hyped up.
And this is RVD's official WrestleMania debut.
I guess he wasn't in 17.
Yeah, no, he didn't debut until like during the invasion. So this match starts off on a really like sudden, fast pace.
Yeah, RVD was just going like full speed until Regal slowed him down like halfway through the match with the rest hold.
Like, guys, this isn't Heat. You got 4 hours. You can take your time. The show weirdly goes like 3:43.
I was gonna say this is almost 4 hours in length, but for some reason 75% of the show is in the first 2 hours.
It's weird, and like the matches go by really fast and are kind of like sub 10-minute matches. It's so strange to me.
You know, overall, for when we saw how long this WrestleMania was, when we ended up watching like it, we were surprised at how we were surprised at how much time had passed when we got to a certain point. It was like, this is like feels like a breeze,
right?
Actually.
Well, even like some of the worst episodes of SmackDown and Raw, it just feels like it's fucking forever. Even though that was technically an hour less than this.
Yeah,
because like put them together, it's 2-hour shows, but they cut the commercials, so it's 90 minutes, 3 hours.
I guess when the wrestling's good, you're just super invested in it.
Yeah, the wrestling is pretty good. You didn't make as many.
Like... Go ahead.
You didn't make as many notes as me.
Yeah,
notes
because my setup's different, so that's why when there's a lull period, I can usually make notes. But here we were in a match that was really good, especially Regal just busting out shit like the Tiger Bomb and like the sick half Nelson suplex.
Oh yeah, he nearly killed RVD on a half Nelson suplex.
Yeah, he got bloody, and then he tried to do like a weird flipping half Nelson, and RVD gets folded onto his fucking head.
Well, what's supposed to happen is Rob is supposed to do like a bit of a flip and land on his stomach, but what instead happens is he lands on the back of his fucking head and folds like an accordion.
Yes.
And then I was just like, holy shit, and then RVD rolls out of the ring to the outside, and they brawl to the outside. And they have this continuous theme of like Regal trying to get the knuckles and RVD just kicking them out of his fucking hand.
One time, like, Regal was really slow getting the knuckles out. Like,
he was getting them very slowly out of his trunks and kind of just like, I'm gonna do it.
It's like he's literally feeling himself. Almost.
Yes. Is it under my penis?
Yeah, nice cock. Then he does like a really slow like pivot, so like RVD can really get it ready. It's like, oh my god, Regal, how did the ref not see you?
Nice cock.
God.
Yes.
Did we do that joke about William Regal the last time?
I feel like we did.
We've done that. Yeah, you did that joke before. Yeah.
God. But yeah, then like RVD finally knocks the brass knuckles out again. I forget what leads into the 5-star frog splash, but he does a really cool move to lead in.
Yeah, I forgot what it was too.
But yeah, hits the 5-star frog splash, gets the win, new Intercontinental Champion. Then he starts talking about JR talking about how you don't get as like Michael Jordan didn't get as much hang time as RVD, but it's like Michael Jordan's a shooting guard.
Well, I mean he had like he was in the slam dunk contest if I recall, but that was when he was younger and before he started winning titles.
he was known for doing like big, like long air, like he would get these dunks from like a distance, and then he would like hang in the air and stick his tongue out. Like, I mean, there's a reason that like when they made a shoe for him based on him, they called it the Air Jordan. He was known.
Hold on,
for
I want to check.
air.
I want to check a random statistic that only I care about.
Of course. While he's doing that,
Okay, so Jordan had a 48-inch vertical, which is pretty good if you know anything about basketball. Most guys have like a 40-ish vertical, so yeah.
What you have to explain what that means exactly?
If you jump straight up, that's how high his feet were off the ground, 4 feet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
With
that
like
is
no
pretty-
run up, no no leap. It's just like a straight up jump. I also saw a sign that says Don has big nips.
Don has big nips. We saw a lot of signs, and we've probably forgotten most of them. I do know one we have written down just for the oh no factor. We'll get to it. But
Christian is talking backstage with Lillian Garcia about how he's from Toronto, but he moved to Florida.
I don't know why the impact zone isn't even a thing yet.
He didn't want the hometown heat. He didn't want the Christian's from here.
I kind of love that actually, though.
And then they had him booked from Florida on his way out.
That's actually I do admit that's actually pretty clever. Just the I don't want people cheering me in my hometown, so I moved.
Because Toronto sucks.
What makes that weird though is like, is he gonna stay moved, or are we gonna see him like build from Toronto for like the next show?
Like literally Monday, he's back from Toronto again.
Or back to Toronto.
Florida sucks. I only had to spend a few days in Florida to know it sucks. I moved back.
I had the receipt for the house.
Imagine moving all of your shit
took it
to
back.
a new imagine moving all your shit from like Toronto to Florida.
I got the warranty.
Then moving it all back just because you lost a match.
He only got halfway. He only got like partway into moving some of his stuff.
I didn't break the seal. He lives in a giant dollhouse.
All of the stuff he was moving is still in the boxes.
There's like 2 burly guys in a U-Haul, and the Christian's just like, "All right, put it back. We're driving back to Canada." And they're like holding a couch, and they're just like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
Fucking wrestlers.
Fucking wrestlers. DDP versus Christian was good, but it got cut really short.
I want to know the reason. He talks about why he betrayed DDP, and it was because he's back to his winning ways, and he doesn't need DDP. It's like, you won a match.
You won one match.
One match. Yeah. Like, him losing after all the motivation would have made more sense than he won a match, and now he's turned on DDP.
Yeah, it would make more sense if it was just like, your motivation didn't do shit.
This match was all right. I think one of the things we noticed that this match seemed a little bit, or no, wait, that was a later match actually.
I will note that the one thing I liked was that Christian did give DDP pink bellies while having him in the abdominal stretch.
Yeah, get him the pink belly.
Give him the pink belly.
I like that cool early move that DDP did, sort of a lifting sort of twist backbreaker, like onto his knee. I like that. That was cool.
Yeah, DDP had a decent moveset to him.
I remember when we were watching Ellie, you noticed, like, man, he's tall. I forgot how tall DDP is.
Yeah, DDP is like 6'5".
It's because he's usually like around other like equally tall or taller dudes.
Yeah, I think
he usually hangs out with like Kevin Nash. So
yeah, I guess that's right, because I saw those interviews with Kevin Nash and DDP.
Yeah, when they were in the Insiders. That was their name.
Inside. They were inside instead of outside.
Yes, exactly. This match could have gone longer. DDP retains after Diamond Cutter. Christian froze just like a monster tantrum.
No, DDP grabs the microphone and says, Christian did a good job. You lost in front of all these fucking people, and you didn't freak out, so that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. And then Christian just starts thrashing in the fucking middle of the ring.
And it's like way more than his like TV tantrums.
Yeah, he's like spinning and
flopping like a fucking fish.
This is an epic tantrum. This is on like what I used to read this series. I really liked called I'm trying to think of the name of it now, but it was a series by an author I really liked was by Bruce Colville. But it was about an alien who as he was growing up just loved to have he basically had tantrums just to get attention, and he was actually kind of known for them, essentially because his tantrums were just so epic. Essentially,
I was a 6th grade alien.
What's that?
I was a 6th grade alien.
No.
Okay. Bruce Colville had a lot of weird fucking books. He also had My Teacher as an Alien, which I remember.
Oh, that was a series that got me interested.
My Alien is an alien.
I love that series.
My Alien is a teacher.
I'm Glorbnak. I am your AP history teacher.
It was Space Brat. Space Brat was the one I was thinking of.
Very, very on the nose, really.
We're going to be teaching you about the Treaty of Versailles. Pay attention to this tentacle.
I never read. I never read. I was a 6th grade alien. I
just found it on Wikipedia bibliography.
I read Space Brat. I read My Teacher's an Alien, and also the Alien Adventures series, which started with Aliens Ate My Homework, which I still love as a title.
Man, the guy sure loves his alien, like alien noun.
Yeah, he really does. He really does a lot of like he's into like sci-fi or like monster stuff.
Aliens gave me AIDS.
Oh, I think the Rod Albright Alien Adventures is what it was called, and it has still one of my favorite all-time titles for a book. I left my sneakers in Dimension X.
Oh, I'm not getting those back. Fuck.
Trapped in another world with my alien geometry teacher.
So this is a trapezoid.
We're in a fantasy world.
You need to know shapes.
These triangles are crazy.
Yo, protractors.
Okay. We've gone really far off topic, but that's because I think we're all trying to avoid more Coachman abuse.
Yeah, Coachman is interviewing The Rock, and Coachman has a nice suit.
He's got a nice suit on.
But that doesn't stop Rock from abusing him and forcing him to do a non-consensual prayer.
There's a lot. Well, he starts with like, did you take your vitamins? And it's like, yes. And then it's like, say your prayers? No. And it's like, and then we started making jokes about it like, no, Rock, I'm agnostic.
Yeah.
Or pointing out that you don't pray in public.
Yeah, I pointed out you don't pray in public because it's advised against in the Bible. You pray in a closet, or you pray at home.
Is that actually true?
Yes. There's a passage about praying in public being just a show and not legitimate prayer, compared to just
So basically, you're even if you're in church and everyone and like the priest is like telling you.
I think that's allowable because that's not public per se. Because you're in a closed building.
And when you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and on the street corners to be seen by men. I tell you the truth, they have received their reward in full, but when you pray, go into your room, close the door to pray to your Father who is unseen.
Huh. I assume church prayer the exception is because
part
they're
of,
not
that's part of the book of Matthew.
Maybe
learning Bible things. WrestleBoy.
Yeah. Wrestling Boys. And then like he rockets him on his knees.
He forces him onto his knees.
And like Coachman's like, "What up, G? Thanks for everything." And like Rock's like, "What up, G?" Is that how you say it? It's like, Rock, you're not supposed to take his name in vain. You don't just say God or Yahweh like that.
Yeah, generally when you pray, you don't actually invoke the name of God as that's not the way I was taught to do it.
Father.
When you grow up,
our Father,
you say,
my Lord,
you say Father, you say Dear Lord. You can also go with Dear. I was taught that you're supposed to pray to Jesus. That's how you
pray to Jesus. Don't pray to God, but pray to His Son. But yes, then like
God just shows up with a shirt that says "Don't ask me for shit."
Oh my God! No. Yeah, Rock kind of like just yells at him and then kicks him out of the.
Then he rips his shirt off.
And wow, it's hard to rip a shirt with one arm
because he's holding the mic. You had a guy holding the mic, but you were forcing him to non-consensually pray in public.
And then beat on him.
And
it's like, yeah, he's like holding the mic. He's doing the smell. And he's trying to like do like the Hogan shirt rip with one arm, and he just barely gets the shirt ripped.
It's like, okay, that's good enough.
We have our next match, the hardcore title match, Goldust versus Maven.
I find it weird that Goldust is the champion, but he still has golden weapons underneath the ring.
Goldust is
no,
Maven.
Actually, wasn't Maven the champion?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think Allie meant to say Goldust was the challenger.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I said Goldust wasn't the champion.
Oh, okay. Wasn't the champion.
I think I misheard. I misheard. I'm sorry.
He wasn't the champion, and yet he still had the fucking golden weapons under the ring.
Yes, except he didn't have a gold cookie sheet.
No, that was a regular cookie sheet.
I don't think he needs to be the champion to have golden weapons, Al.
I'll be honest, I kind of like that that's his gimmick for hardcore matches, that he's gold weapons.
And honestly, watching these matches, these hardcore matches, you see the problems with having hardcore matches in general, in terms of like having them as
overexposure of it, and it's just you get the same.
It's overexposure, and the fact that
it's just hitting each other with shit. This match was barely 3 minutes.
Right.
There was some nice stuff.
I remember a spot where Maven fucked up a catapult.
Yeah.
Like, they wanted to catapult into the trash can, but the way it was set up, Maven kind of just jumps from the catapult and misses. And then they have to do a different spot with that trash can to break it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get kind of overexposed, you run out of like spots after a while.
Yeah.
There's no
and you either get creative or you have to just start traditionally wrestling, and they didn't want to do that. Because instead of having a proper finish, I think they hit each other with trash can lids, and then Spike Dudley runs in for the pin.
Yes.
I do want to note that like Goldust brings out like a gold shovel and like hits the shovel, like the handle of the shovel to Maven.
He drops down.
Yes, a seesaw homicide.
He does like a drop down from the ring ropes to the where he's standing on like the edge of the ring. I mean, he jumps and then hits. I think he like jumps and hits the shovel and like goes it, and then the handle goes into Maven's throat. Which that was a cool spot.
That was cool. Allie with the esoteric reference for the night.
I'm gonna copy a link, and I hope it's the right one.
I think.
Oh Christ! Wow.
Seesaw homicide.
God damn! Why did you even do that one?
It was the shortest one we had.
I don't even know why you played that. No one's gonna get the joke.
I get the joke, and that's all that matters. I get the joke.
I have so many people at your work asking about that one.
Fuck the fans. I'm turning heel.
Anyway, so now we talk about the sign we saw during this match.
Yeah, someone holds up a big pink sign that says, Goldust raped my dad.
And we were just like, oh my God, what?
And we were just like, what the fuck?
We were so thrown off by that sign.
We all just, like, almost in unison just went, what the fuck?
So after Spike Dudley wins and we see that horrible sign, a man with dark hair and what appears to be Mike's Hard Lemonade tights runs in to chase him off. And that was Crash Holly.
Who looked pretty jacked.
Yes.
And, like, yeah, there's, like, they do this whole backstage commotion with Spike and Crash Holly fighting. And, like, Al Snow is driving a fucking, like, a cart.
You missed something very important.
What?
The story of the WWE title as told by Drowning Pool.
Oh, yes, that's right. They were telling the story of the Undisputed Championship title match.
Oh, right. Yeah, they did their song.
It was another AMV.
I think they did Tearaway.
Yeah, they did Tearaway.
And then
I was bored as fuck.
And then they cut to the back where they're not listening to the Drowning Pool song. They're fighting back there.
I put down a note on the Drowning Pool segment. Rob would probably love this part because there's something that me and Rob have never agreed on is the WrestleMania 30 Imagine Dragons video with Daniel Bryan. He loves it. I think it's horrible.
Most people like it.
You know what I noticed about...
Well, most people are fucking wrong. That's our fuck you fight me. That goddamn Imagine Dragons monster video is garbage. It is stupid. It does not fit Daniel Bryan's story at all. Come at me.
You know what
I thought I turned heel. Fuck you.
You know what I noticed about the two the singers for the bands is Joey Scott had a lot better screams than the guy for Drowning Pool, like the guy Drowning.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Josie Scott's singing is kind of a waste of Josie Scott because he's actually a better screamer than he is a singer.
Yeah, to a degree.
Another thing I noticed about Drowning Pool is they really, really, really need a rhythm guitarist because every time a solo happened, the riff would cut out and you would just hear like the bass, and it just kind of was like they're trying to do that kind of like jung 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 kind of like new metal-ish early 2000s vibe shit, but like they don't have a rhythm guitarist.
Yeah.
And it's so obvious. By the way, I think it's like WWE whatever.
WWF Forcible Entry.
Forcible entry.
Yes.
I don't know if that's on Spotify nowadays.
Yeah, they kept plugging Forcible Entry.
That's our only 2000s alert because everything else we've already covered.
I don't know how the song Tearaway has to do with anything involving the Undisputed title. I think it was kind of a song about being disinterested in life and like being numb to things.
I think because
the guy kept shouting like, "I don't care, I don't care."
Wow, the Spotify version doesn't even have Tearaway.
I think the only line of that song that kind of works with the feud is it sort of makes sense for Jericho as the chorus being, I don't care about anyone or anything but me, because it kind of plays into Jericho's narcissism.
And they showed like all of the fucking clips of this feud, including Stephanie's lotion, and
they didn't show enough of the dog. They didn't show the dog.
They didn't show the dog at all. I don't think.
I don't care about this dog.
It's gonna get run over.
I don't care about this stupid dog.
But yeah, we do cut to backstage where Crash Holly and Spike Dudley are fighting, and fucking Al Snow takes.
Al Snow just shouts beep beep and crashes into some boxes.
He's got Teddy Long in the passenger seat too.
Oh, well, I didn't agree to this, player. No.
How did I get in this car, player?
I hate white boys.
It's almost like he's driving almost like a golf cart or something.
It's like I think it's supposed to.
And then they dodge out of the way, and he crashes into some boxes, which was pretty funny.
A ton of cardboard boxes that were just empty and kind of there. I guess No one broke down those boxes. Fucking sloppy work over at the Sky Dome.
Yeah, but enough of that shit. After some more brawling, here come the Hurricane with the whoosh.
Hurricane fucking like whooshes in on like a rope.
Yeah, and a pantomime whoosh.
And there's a whoosh.
Yeah, I love the whoosh sound effect. That's my favorite.
Weird thing. I thought he had the crew cut by now, where he had that like green spiky hair, but no, he just has like a ponytail.
That might have been like when he did like his return on like ECW or something.
Maybe.
Maybe.
And this is where I think WrestleMania is officially where they just decided to make the hardcore title like the silly hijinks title.
Well, I mean, it already was the silly hijinks title, but then it got serious, and then it just immediately turned back to silly hijinks as soon as Undertaker lost it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do not know why they gave that title to Undertaker.
That's a good point.
It didn't do anything for him or the belt.
And I don't. It makes you wish that they kind of came up with the idea of the 24, making it the 24/7 title instead of the hardcore title. If they're just going to have it be the comedy section,
I thought it would be a little bit of fun alternate history if you decided the 24/7 title is the title they introduced back then, and the hardcore title's a recent addition.
It works. There's a lot of dudes who could probably work in the hardcore style.
A lot of CZW guys.
CZW guys.
The problem with the hardcore title is I see and having constant hardcore title matches is like that feels like something that needs to have like a build where it start like that's like when you like say when it comes to
you can get burnt out on hardcore
when it comes to a street fight. Say, for example, usually a lot of times the best ones are caused there's this feud going on that gets really intense, and then they do a street fight, and the really good street fights have like a flow to them where it starts off with like a lower level of violence, and then it just builds on it, and it just builds until it gets ridiculous at the end. And that's the problem with a lot of hardcore matches. There's no flow. They're just kind of randomly getting
Stop
out.
sign, bam. Trash can, bam. Chair, bam.
Let's pull out the fire extinguisher.
Spray, oh no. I fell through a table. Ha. So, you know that segment we just saw? They play it again. They just do a unedited replay of Hurricane winning the Hardcore Championship.
Then he's running around.
No. Then it's like Angle versus Kane.
Oh yeah, Kurt Angle versus Kane happens. Yeah, Kurt Angle talks about wanting to shoot himself if he was Canadian.
I will shoot myself.
Like it was a really weird
in the head.
promo. I feel like there's a reference here because he talks about like an Canadian Olympics.
Yeah, he mentioned a Canadian Olympian who got the gold medal after complaining or something like that. Angle has a neat black singlet. I wanted to point out.
Oh yeah, the black singlet
with like
with the
cracks
American
with like
flag
cracks
on it.
in it, and it has like the American flag under the cracks.
It's a really good singlet.
There was this weird thing where I don't know if it was the lighting, but or something weird happened with his mask, but it's like because he was wearing his typical mask with like the slit for his mouth, but for some reason I saw his mouth in the mask for a second. It was like, what the fuck? Did he get a different mask? Where like
a very strange thing happens when Kane comes in. Kurt Angle nails him with the bell and then throws the bell out. And the ref's admonishing him, and the match starts anyway, but you can hear the fucking timekeeper get up and, like, try to find the bell to ring it.
Yes.
It's like, ding, 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 ding. Like,
what did he do with that? What did he do with it? I can't find it. Help.
Up, ding, 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 ding.
Oh, there it is. Ding, ding, ding.
So this match was good. I liked it.
This match was good.
This was actually one of the best matches on the card, I felt.
Really, yeah. Just everyone was doing. They got their working boots on.
Yeah, Kurt Angle made Kane's ankle hurt, but he still got a fucking enziguri out of it.
Oh, that enziguri was good.
I liked.
He did the top rope belly to belly again, except this one was more like a kind of like a over the shoulder toss.
Yeah, because I think Kane was a little too he was crouched too.
It kind of looked more like a Beal, if you know what a Beal is. A Beal's like where you grab their head and kind of throw them sideways.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think so.
I think
one of my favorite.
Taz
spots
always
of this
complains that people don't know what Beals are. That's a Beal.
One of my favorite spot of this match is after when Kane hits the first chokeslam. I think it might have been the only chokeslam he had. I'm not sure, but after Kurt gets hit, when he puts his arm on the rope. But what I liked is like he
was still out of it, but like his arm just kind of went over the rope as instinct.
Right, but what I like is you saw his arm like wiggle to call attention to the ref. I don't know why I like that. That made me
like,
laugh.
hello, arm on the rope.
It's like he was waving to the ref over here.
Ref, I got my arm here.
It sucks this feud had like little to no build.
Yeah,
it was just like,
pretty much.
Well, that thing with Triple H didn't work out. Guess I'm fighting Kane, and then Kane's like, and then
it was pretty much the build entirely based on like Kurt getting pissed that he lost, and he beats the shit out of Kane and puts him in the ankle lock, and then Kane wants revenge for
you made my ankle hurt.
For making his ankle hurt. Yeah, there was no real dialogue or anything between them, but
they fought in a garage with a green chair. That's all I remember about the Kane feud.
All I remember is like I think one of them would beat him up and cost the other one the match every so often. It was like the most EWR thing you could imagine.
The feud has progressed. The feud has progressed. So yeah, Kurt Angle wins.
I would actually say that's kind of a failing of this WrestleMania. As a lot of the feuds didn't have the best story going into them.
Yeah, but this one is just like we need to get them on the card kind of booking.
And you.
I'm gonna argue that I think the best storyline actually was the one between Regal and RVD.
Yeah, but that at least is for a title. That's not
True.
Getting them on the card just to have them on the card so they get paid.
Yeah, usually the typical thing in WrestleMania is every title's defended.
Yeah.
So Hurricane's hiding behind one of those bamboo dressing things.
That's just kind of there in the locker room. That's just kind of
there, and he's peeping on some escorts who have entered.
He's not peeping.
He was in the room, and they came in.
Right, and he didn't intend to peep. He just kind of walked into the. He just walked into the room and didn't know that he walked into the wrong room.
Are you ready for that Hurricane doing the Austin Powers shadow gag that they did in like one of the Austin Powers movies?
Because he's got a broom to defend himself, and then he kind of like he's holding the broom in a defensive position. He's holding the brooms,
and it's like, haha, it looks like a penis. Huh.
Yes.
Do you see that it looks like a penis?
Which is like, I don't know, if you got a penis that long, you might need to see a doctor.
Are you ready to receive my erect penis? I don't know.
And of course, to titillate the males in the audience, they have all the escorts start taking off their tops.
I think one of them takes off her top.
Long and
I think it was two of them. Two of them.
Girls like it long and broomy.
Yes. But then Godfather's like, get out of here, I'm gonna beat your ass. Like he goes right at like Hurricane.
Well,
takes his broom from him.
Yeah, the girls scream and then he comes running in.
And you know what? I appreciate that Godfather is deeply concerned for the well-being of his escorts.
Yeah, he's employing them.
That reminds me. Remember how we thought? Remember how you guys thought that he actually legit ran an escort service? That is true.
Yeah, he runs a strip club.
Yeah, I think he still runs it.
Yeah.
So
like Cheetahs or something.
cheetahs.
Something like
Godfather, I know you're a businessman and I'm not, but can you make sure you set up your phone line?
Please, come on, man. I've been trying for weeks, almost months at this point, to contact you. And nothing.
So yeah, that was the end of that segment, and then we're back to another hype package. A hype package with the La Resistance theme.
Yes, Ali was quick to point out that's the La Resistance theme.
Because it's recapping Ric Flair.
It's the Undertaker Flair thing. So it is Sylvain Ric Flair and Renee Deadman.
Yeah, but the fucking music's just going like dun 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 dun, like a breaking news kind of sound to it, because that's the La Resistance theme.
Yes.
And I wrote down that technically this is a specialty match, because first of all, it's a no disqualification match, but it's also a midlife crisis match.
Yes, we get Undertaker versus Ric Flair, which is a lot of brawling.
What's the opposite of drip?
We asked that question on Twitter.
Because
Undertaker
Undertaker has such a lame dress sense that anything he wears just looks bad and tacky.
And he's still got that dad bod going on.
And he's got kind of like that kind of dumpy build he had in the mid-2000s before he came back as the Dead Man. Because at least, like, okay, a little bit of a head time. When he comes back in, like, 05, 06, he lost a shitload of weight. Like...
And this is where that weight is right now.
Yeah, the weight isn't lost. It's been found.
Comparatively, Ric Flair, of course, has drip.
Ric Flair's got Ric Flair drip.
He's got like, he doesn't have like the fluff on the robes, but he does have like just this nice
red and yellow
robe.
sequined Hulk Hogan robe.
Yeah. He's strutting, he's looking good.
Looking good for a guy in his 50s.
I want a sign with the word "sign" on it.
Yes.
Why did I say I'm Ric Flair and this is my pawn shop?
There was someone who actually had a sign, the sign that Ali has always wanted to bring to a crowd. This is a sign.
Yeah, I love that
hey,
sign. Hey, no, yeah, it was "Hey, look at my sign."
Why did we start doing that? I'm Ric Flair and this is my pawn shop.
I'm Ric Flair and this is my pawn shop. And then you mentioned like you call it a Flair for the gold.
Yeah, it's a Flair for the gold pawn shop. I feel like at some point, somebody had said something and it made us think of pawn shops or of Rick Harrison.
Might have been commentary.
Yes, it was something on commentary. How drunk is Ric Flair? Enough. Because Rick is bleeding.
Still insist on calling Undertaker Booger Red. Ric Flair immediately blades. They go to the table and they throw him over the table, and then he's just coming out and he's covered in his own blood.
Just
Undertaker gets a little cut on his cheek. I don't remember from what.
I don't know if that is even a cut or if it's just a smidge of more Flair blood.
Yeah.
This is a very long, drawn-out brawl between the two of them. Very little wrestling moves. It's just lots of punches and lots of weapon shots and lots of like, I'm gonna hurt you with this submission move, that kind of thing.
This is where
Undertaker just decides to punch out Charles Robinson. I think he forgot it was no DQ or something.
Right? Yeah, and then he goes to get something, and it's like, but it's no DQ. Why'd you punch out Charles Robinson?
Oh yeah, he went to get his lead pipe from the bike.
Which brings me to the question, why does Taker always have a lead pipe in his bike?
It's my pipe. It's my biking pipe.
I need this pipe to bike.
He puts it in the spokes of his motorcycle like a baseball card.
I put it in the spokes so I can.
This is where I started complaining about like. It seemed like the crowd would occasionally like look slightly left, like they were looking at like the monitor to see shit. But it's like you're not like you're very close to the to the ring. You can probably see just fine.
Yeah, you're not in the nosebleeds. That's for sure.
You're in the Flair bleeds.
You're in the Flair bleeds. You're getting some Flair blood on you, whether you like it or not.
There was a point where like they were looking at Flair and like Undertaker just passes by the camera.
Yeah, he photobombed it like, hello.
Yeah, he like photobomb, and this was at a spot where Ric Flair had hit him, and he was kind of had this face on it. Yeah, he had this face where he's like, like.
So Undertaker runs the ropes at some point. I think he was going to do like a leg drop or something, and then just Arn Anderson shows up and spine busters the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I have to say that was a great bit of camera work because it made Arn look like he just
came the fuck out of nowhere. But by the time you're asking that, he's already hit the spine buster and you're marking out.
Yeah, because his spine buster's so snappy. It's just like boom,
smooth. And King on commentary is like, yeah, put that old horseman to the glue factory. It's like, Arn Anderson would make terrible glue.
Arn Anderson would make terrible glue. And if you want 4 horsemen glue, you're going to run out of horsemen unless you call, like, I don't know, like fucking Mongo or Mongo McMichael or Paul Roma. So, Undertaker beats off Arn. No, not my... Not like that.
Undertaker sends Arn out, and then he beats Ric Flair. He hits the tombstone. Hits the tombstone in a weird way where like he puts both legs to like the side of his head instead of like tucked between.
Oh, there was that one part where he put Arn in the Taker care of business.
Taker care of business.
The Taker care of business.
It's like, do you forget that Flair is your opponent?
Yeah,
I'm gonna make you tap out, Arn Anderson.
You're not in the match, Arn.
So, I can understand him like sending. I can understand attacking Arn to send him away, but like, don't put him in a submission.
I think this is around the time that it's not part of the storylines yet, but they're starting to notice that the Undertaker has a winning streak because he's 10-0.
Yeah, they say he's 10-0. They don't start really acknowledging it until like 22, I think.
And some smart fan either
somebody was paying attention.
Well, Taker did the thing with his hands where he counted to 10. I think that was like the first time.
That said like 10.
I think he saw that 10-0 sign and went with it.
I love
because they still weren't booking the streak. I think that was like Randy Orton or something.
Yeah, something like that.
I loved how after the match was over, he just fucking decked Charles Robinson the clothesline.
Fuck you.
I guess he just really has beef with Charles Robinson that we don't know about.
Robinson did a flip cell, which is I love that.
And then we cut to my next light novel idea. In another world where I just lost at WrestleMania to the 5-time WCW champion
with my smartphone.
Booker
T's got reading glasses because it makes him smart.
Because it makes him smart.
Because they're leaning into the Booker T dumb thing.
Yes.
Talk about Einstein's theory of relatives.
Einstein's theory of relatives. His high school thesis.
Yes.
I'm fairly certain that's not how that works. I'm fairly certain you don't post a thesis in high school.
But yeah, Booker T's just pretty much talking about how he deserved that shampoo commercial.
And that he's going to beat Edge.
Yeah.
We get to our next match. Booker T versus Edge. This match was mostly kind of awkward. Like these two
Edge
didn't gel.
Destroy my eyes.
Edge didn't destroy our eyes, which is nice.
This match was awkward.
The Sky Dome is really nicely like spread out, so the lighting wasn't like all in one concentrated burst.
Yeah, everything had lighting because they wanted to show you how big the crowd is. They didn't put dimmers on the crowd.
Yeah,
I think we asked the question of why wasn't it considering this as over Shampoo? Why isn't this a hair versus hair match?
That was apparently like the plan by the booking, but no one wanted to lose their hair.
Well, only one person would have to lose their hair, but like they could have went with someone who was more willing to get a haircut.
Like Kurt Angle.
Yeah, because that hair's hanging on for its dear life at this point.
Yeah.
He's got that thing where like there's a little island of hair in the front, and then a bald spot, and then the rest of his hair.
And he eventually did get a hair match where he lost his hair, so that did happen.
So really, it should have just been Edge versus Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
And
Also-
that would have been in some ways.
Also, it would have
maybe
gave
more
Kurt Angle a feud. Besides, just
It gave Kurt
I don't
Angle a
like
feud.
Kane. I don't like Kane.
And also I can see Kurt Angle just marking out to do a shampoo commercial and just being really bad at it.
Kurt Angle
love it.
hair.
Edge,
You could have
and
Kurt Angle hair
have
with
had
Yakumoshi shampoo.
Edge and Kurt Angle
Whatever
have worked really well together.
Whatever you
as,
Asian
like,
guys
comedy
like. I don't know. You like
man.
shampoo or some shit? I don't know.
Kurt would probably get super racist with it too because he's
the
just
one
willing to
problem
do shit.
with making an Edge versus Kurt Angle is that leaves Booker T with what does Booker T do then?
He's still got his tag team with Test.
Have him be in the tag team thing with Test.
If they never consistently kept that though, they kind of like would have them together and then they wouldn't, and then they would and then they wouldn't, and they wouldn't. They just like they couldn't make up their minds if they wanted to keep it.
Oh shit, or get off the pod. I would have them be a tag team.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we need to talk about this match being kind of awkward, where these two don't really gel well.
Yeah, it was kind of an awkward match.
There were some blown spots in there too. It was like
there was this weird Hurricane Rana off the top rope that didn't work out.
Yeah. There was a lot of stuff that looked like it mistimed or it just miscued.
There was a spin-a-rooney on Flair's bloody mat.
I believe there was also an edge-a-rooney, and that looked like shit.
It's about as Canadian as you can get. Do you
JR?
think? I have a legitimate question. Do you think by the end of 2020, on the end of 2002, we are going to have our first ever official who does the spin-a-rooney best tier list?
Oh man, because we've seen the spin-a-rooney, we've seen the Kurt-a-rooney, we've seen the edge-a-rooney.
Yes,
we could.
Anyway, there's a sign that says
we didn't see the JR Rooney that JR did on his porch though.
JR talk about how he did the spin-a-rooney on his back porch.
And we were like, why? Who saw this?
I did a spin-a-rooney on some barbecue sauce.
He said, I did it on my back porch so I wouldn't embarrass myself. I didn't do it on my front.
I had too much friction, so I had to use barbecue sauce to speed up my Ross-a-rooney.
My ass.
My ass.
But yeah, so this match happens. I can't even remember. Oh yeah, Edge wins, right?
Edge wins after a DDT or the Impaler.
In the Impaler.
He did the execution, yes. Which I had to laugh at the fact that the subtitles read it as execution.
These subtitles suck.
Edge killed Booker T.
I hope that
one of the things that was really awkward was like Edge did that thing where he I think it's what's it called? He goes behind you and pulls you down. I think it's like the Edge something.
The Edge something, got it.
The Edge something.
Edge something.
Edge made Booker T walk 10 paces, then he pulled with a blindfold, and he shot him.
The 10 Edge commandments.
Number 1,
hurt your eyes.
Stevie Ray in the corner.
Stevie Ray in the corner for accountability.
All right, but yeah, I have actually forgotten what I was about to say. Oh yeah, I'm hoping that the subtitles are better when they switch over to Peacock. I hope they get somebody to do some good fucking
People
subtitles.
shitting on the Peacock move forget that the WWE Network player is absolute dog shit.
Yes, it really is.
It freezes, it pauses, we have to constantly restart. Mega Fighter's audio cuts out at some point.
When I started, it would keep constantly doing this thing where it would just it would move the browser down to jump to, the jump to section. So I had to watch this in full screen and do alt tab to do my notes. I couldn't do an easy click either way. It was bad.
So, and then at one point, it completely froze for him.
It completely froze, yeah.
And
then when I refreshed it, the audio was muted, and I didn't want to fucking unmute it in case it froze again by doing that. We cut backstage. Hurricane's running around.
Hurricane got the fuck out of there, and he's trying to find a way out of the stadium.
Oh, wait, no, I think he gets stopped by Coachman.
But he gets stopped by Coachman. That's what I was going to say next.
Yeah.
Ask him some questions.
Ask if he's being a pervert. A perv. And
Perfect Kane.
And then Mighty Molly comes up behind him and
blasts him with a cookie sheet.
No, hits him with a frying pan.
Oh, frying pan, yeah.
Dong!
Knocks him out, takes the hardcore title. I really wish that this had led into like Mighty Molly turning into a supervillain.
Yes.
Like Malicious Molly or something.
Malevolent Molly.
Malevolent Molly. I would have gone all in on that and just done some silly shit with it.
That would have been
okay. We do another recap about the NWO and getting inject.
At this point, Allie went to went to pee.
I went to pee and I made a grilled cheese sandwich.
And it was just me and Mega Fighter watching the Scott Hall.
I went to cook because my water got. I had to cook a grilled cheese sandwich because my water got shut off that night.
Yeah, but Scott Hall and Steve Austin have just kind of a match.
They call JR calls him his adversary. Austin's adversary.
Austin's adversary, which is generous.
And then fucking during the entrance, Hall pointed like 3 or 4 times because Kevin Nash took so fucking long to get down the giant WrestleMania ramp.
Yes.
And then I went to cook because my water got shut off.
What we remember is like they do a spot where like they're setting up the taking off the exposed turnbuckle spot.
But the camera did not pan over.
So we're hearing JR and King talking about Kevin Nash taking off that turnbuckle pad. It's like, well, I'd love to have seen that.
Welcome to wrestling radio. We just have to.
At one point,
usually whenever there's like a heel doing something bad, the camera will pan over, and it's like Dunn's asleep. I guess asleep at the wheel this time.
He's always asleep at the wheel. I don't know how this man.
I'm Kevin Dunn with his shit.
I'm Kevin Dunn with his shit, indeed. Thank you, Allie.
We get a montage of... Actually, sorry, Scott Hall.
We had to talk about the match.
I wasn't here for it.
Like, shouting at JR for... So my dad uses a turn of phrase that JR used... Because Jerry Lawler said we at one point. That's what we call it, something or another. And fucking JR says... What's weed? Do you have a mouse in your pocket? And I just fucking snapped because I hear that from my dad all the time.
I've never heard of that term.
You've never... have you ever used we in front of your dad? Like we want to do this, and it's like... And it's like, wait, do you have a mouse in your pocket?
No, he's never said that. He just calls me a bitch.
No. That's what my brother does, but anyway. Oh yeah, at some point, like, there's a lot of shenanigans, there's a lot of beating down, stunners for everyone.
Oh, I want to point out that there's one part where I think it might have been fairly early in the match where Austin goes over to attack Nash, like he hits him in the back, and then later Nash, gets his revenge.
Yeah,
essentially, and then Jerry asks JR, "You think Austin is sorry for provoking Nash?" And then JR's like, "Why should I think that?" And why should I think that he thinks that? And I'm like going, JR, how is Austin going over to Nash not provoking him?
I remember that spot too, because it was like he shoved him into the turnbuckle, and it looked like it was supposedly like Nash would like bump into Hall, but he kind of missed on that.
Yeah, JR is like saying, essentially saying, "Why should I think he provoked him?" He went over to attack him.
He totally attacked him. That's provocation. At one point, like, I think Scott Hall got a pinfall.
I came back with a honey glazed ham, 3 cheese blend with mashed up tater tots and a fried egg grilled cheese sandwich.
Nice.
And I come back to Stone Cold winning.
I remember this one pinfall where Tim White
actually had pinfall.
I remember this one pinfall where Tim White had to crawl over Austin in the Hall to count it, and I was like,
"Why did you have to crawl?" That was weird.
Tim White.
But yeah, this match ends. I go to get an ice cream bar, and when I come back,
they show the Access tour that they did a little bit before WrestleMania weekend. And pretty much, you get to hang out with the superstars, get shit signed. You could do, like, fake commentary. with like whoever you want, with like Taz or Ric Flair or whatever. And then I found out, and Mega Fighter came back around this time, they have a metal cast statue of Stacy Keibler's legs and ass.
Yeah.
And like she would have people come back
I've ever seen,
and they would have people come in and like touch the fake Stacy Keibler ass, and like they interviewed Stacy Keibler about it. It's like, they're touching my ass. That is they.
I'm getting out of this business.
And she's just like, yeah, this is good. I like people coming up and touching a cast of my ass. First of all,
fine.
That implies that she had her ass casted. Like she had, it was
probably there.
A fucking reverse cast mold of Stacy Keibler's ass.
Like a plaster cast of her ass.
I have very big suspicions on whether or not she agreed to this.
It's weird. I don't fucking like it. Why?
Didn't you also mention that Booker T was playing the new SmackDown game?
He was playing the SmackDown game that came out just before this one. I think it was just Bring It.
It was just Bring It, but Booker T wasn't in the game.
Yeah, he got mad he wasn't in the game, so he played Chris Benoit.
Benoit. Yeah, but speaking of Stacy Keibler's ass, we now have the Elimination Four Corners match of the Dudley Boys, the APA, the Hardy Boys, and Billy and Chuck for the tag title.
Can I quick go back to I did look to the Austin Hall match just to mention there is that classic. Hall did a really classic bit of selling where he did a jumping backwards sell on the final stunner. I like.
Nice. Always good to get that.
Anyways, we can continue now.
Saliva gets to do the Dudley's entrance in the We Screwed Over the APA match.
Yes.
This is the song Turn the Tables. Interesting fact, this is on the Forcible Entry CD, but the Spotify version does not have it. It is unavailable.
Let me see I want to check the track list for WWF Forcible Entry.
Oh, I'll send it to you, and I'll send you the.
No, I got it.
Let's see. I want to send you the Spotify version because most of the songs are missing.
We got The Game by Drowning Pool. Legs by Kid Rock.
Is that the fucking song we were hearing?
Yeah,
that's the one we're hearing. Yes, that was the cover.
Oh my god.
Okay, so the theme for Backlash, Young Girl Old by Creed.
The Disturbed version of Glass Shatters by Disturbed, the Disturbed Austin theme, which I like.
We got the Rollin' Dead Man remix.
Whatever by Our Lady Peace, which is available.
Never Gonna Stop. The Black Cat Crossing mix performed by Rob Zombie.
One of a Kind.
Hey. The Beautiful People. Across the Nation. Remix. Oh, hey, Across the Nation.
Yeah. Can't wait until we get to that era of Raw.
Then we got Break the Walls Down by Seven Dust. I like Seven Dust.
I know, but that's just silly.
John Witherspoon's a great singer.
Turn the Tables by Saliva. Live for the Moment by Monster Magnet.
That is Matt Hardy's theme.
Oh, yeah.
End of Everything by Stereo Mud, which is Raven's theme. Is Raven even there?
No.
I don't. Yeah, where the hell's Raven?
What about Raven?
What about Raven?
Exactly. Ride Your Life by Neurotica.
Just Another Victim by Cypress Hill.
The Taz theme that he only used for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes.
No Chance by Dope. That's Vince.
And Love, Fury, Passion, Energy performed by Boy Hits Car. Okay.
Which is not to be confused with Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That's only you.
Or whatever the fuck. I can't remember the fucking 30 Seconds to Mars one that I also did for that joke.
So the match starts in proper. It's kind of this JR
Love,
and King.
Lust, Faith, and Dreams. That's what it was.
I was going to say, JR and King just are very confused by the rules of this match. It was pretty much that Fatal 4-Way we saw last week, but with tag teams.
Yeah, Yeah, for the so-called four corners, I thought it would be like one of those, kind of like a bull rope,
like one in each corner.
or like a bull rope match where they had to touch the corners.
Lawler says he was in a boy band called the Backseat Boys.
I'm fairly certain the Backseat Boys is a CZW tag team. It was like Trent Acid and Johnny Cashmere.
Here's a fun fact about this Fatal 4-Way. APA's out first. Thanks for playing.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you, APA.
This makes their win at No Way Out completely pointless.
Why the fuck? This is like everything got changed at the last second shit right here.
Yeah.
King is the king of salve, according to him, or salve.
The king of salve. I have some notes from earlier, such as Josie Scott, please refrain from touching Stacy Keibler.
Oh yeah, Stacy dances with Josie Scott.
And it's like, it's really awkward. It's like, don't
I'm
touch
gonna
her.
hunk her butt, not really.
JR
He never
at some
does,
point
thankfully.
during like the entrances, I think, or during like the early
They
going.
start talking about the statue of her ass, and
so,
like
at some point, JR starts talking about Howie the mailman.
Yes.
Anyway, so they talk about the statue of her ass.
the statue of her ass, and JR says that King is so lonely, and then like King starts making up this like, JR, you were rubbing all over that ass. You were like rubbing it up and down and going, oh, that's a nice ass. And then right around that time, Stacy tries to distract people by showing her ass again, and Jeff Hardy just runs up and slaps it. After taking off his shirt, of course.
And then he kisses her.
And
Yeah,
then he kissed her.
I'm pulling up some Wrestle Court documents. This is from the Toronto criminal lawyers, Charitzis Law. This is penalties for sexual assaults in Toronto. See, unlike some criminal charges where the accused has been convicted of sexual assault, the penalty can be severe and long-lasting. Before any trial or evidence is heard, the allegation of sexual assault can include immediate ramifications such as unwanted publicity and media attraction, termination of employment, public damnation, restricted bill services.
All right, enough about cancel culture. What's the charge?
Okay. Upon conviction of sexual assault, the accused will additional penalties on top of what a judge may impose, such as mandatory registration to the National Sex Offender Registry, mandatory collection of your DNA to be held in the DNA database, travel outside of Canada restrictions, employment restrictions. I don't know. It doesn't say like
Jeff Hardy.
Charge.
Jeff Hardy, cut it out.
You on the rap sheet?
Hi, I'm Jason.
Ah, God damn
What the fuck? What? Wait, what? What was that?
Stop it.
Hi, I'm Jason.
No! Fuck off! I don't care who you are, Jason.
Yeah. But just next time we're just gonna do Law and Order noise, and that'll do it.
Allie really needs a soundboard.
We really need
Jeff
to get
Hardy.
you a soundboard.
Stop it. Okay.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
The referee is very loud.
Ross enables Lawler's perversions. He needs to stop. Oh, was this the referee who was like, "You need to get out of the corner. Let him go.
Get out of court. Stop it. Don't do that."
Like, who is this lawyer? I've never heard a deep voice like tough guy lawyer or tough guy referee like this. Lawyer.
JR starts musing about Monopoly.
Oh yeah, it was do not pass go, do not attempt a swanton. He's played some real fucking weird Monopoly at the Ross house.
Devon gets a table, and it's Chekhov's table, and one of the Dudleys gets thrown right back into it.
Yes. It is not Schrodinger's table, which is a table where it is in a quantum state of
getting
gotten
gotten by Devon.
Yes, where you don't know if there is a table or not. Devon!
Is there a table? No. Oh. Now we got a 3D onto nothing.
Okay. But yeah, somebody goes for the table.
And they're out, and it's just the Hardys and Billy and Chuck.
And that's where I think we get to do not pass go, do not attempt a swanton. Billy and Chuck keep. Yeah.
Yeah, they retain.
They retain. Fuck you again, APA.
I wrote down that Rocky Balboa is fictional Hulk Hogan.
Oh,
you can't talk about that.
Yes, right. Hogan does an interview where he starts talking about how with Rocky Balboa, he's gonna beat The Rock and leave him laying or something, and it's like.
And I kind of get where he's going with that, like Rocky. He was in a Rocky film, but at the same time,
he also did fight Zeus once, so the idea that he might fight Rocky Balboa isn't far out of left field.
Sylvester Stallone is an actor.
Yeah, but Zeus was also a fictional person, and he fought Zeus.
He did fight Zeus. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Tommy Lister.
Yes.
Tony Lister, I think.
Tony Lister, whatever.
Tony Lister.
What do you mean, whatever?
Tiny Lister. Tommy Tiny Lister.
Tommy Tiny Lister, yeah.
May he rest in peace.
Molly's hiding.
Molly's making a run for it, but
she makes
there's a door.
I'm sorry, I ruined that bit. Stand back. There's a door coming.
She gets hit with a door. Kind of. It didn't really hit, but you do
that. She did that thing where you hit it with your hands.
It's like and then
either it was he slammed the door hard enough to make it sound like it hit her, or just
it just kind of bounced off its hinge more than anything, or bounced off the side.
There's a door.
Stand back. There's a door. Christian gets the pin on Molly and wins the hardcore title. It's like, yeah, I want a title.
I want a thing.
Runs for it. Then we get the match that is all of the hype. Hollywood Hogan versus The Rock.
So, yeah, they start discussing matchups in history that never happened.
Matchups that never happened.
Muhammad Ali versus Mike Tyson. And they said Babe Ruth versus Barry Bonds. And then I started bitching. I was just like, baseball's a team sport, right?
And then I made a joke about it. I was like, oh, they just fought in a parking lot. So that's just a fucking mental image that kept me for the show.
And then JR started doing this really long, complicated metaphor about the old lion and the young lion who's challenging the old lion. And then the young lion gets hit with a semi-truck driven by the old lion.
This match is just purely built on the hype.
Half of it is
a hot crowd.
Half of it is taunting.
Everyone talks about how legendary this match is. It's just the crowd was really hyped for it.
Hogan's back was fucked.
Hogan's back was fucked. They mostly just taunt.
Rock's back was fucked because he's carrying this match.
I remember reading about this match from Hulk's book, and I thought I remember Hulk describing it. It was his leg that was more fucked, but you could tell. I do think he was also dealing with his back.
His back and his leg were bad. He really should have quit while he was behind after this match. This should have been his last. Rock spams finishers to win it.
Yeah, he wins after 3 rock bottoms and the rock and the people's elbow.
This was a thing that they changed. They actually changed the thrust of this match on the fly, based entirely on the crowd response.
Yeah, because Hogan wasn't getting any heel heat, not at all.
They were cheering him even as he was choking, choking Rock out with his wrappings or whatever.
Yeah, he choked Rock out with his wrappings. He took off his weight belt and whipped him with it.
The apple pie.
Meat. Rock puts him in the most delicate sharpshooter you can think of
because he doesn't want to severely harm his back.
I think one of the biggest pops that happened was when Hogan did the rock bottom to Rock.
Yeah,
called him a Nagi,
basically. Yeah. Yeah, talking about that sharpshooter, this might be like the worst sharpshooter The Rock's ever done.
Hogan's back is straight and his legs are crossed, but like his knees are on the mat.
So Rock's ass.
So Rock's
is
just trying to
out.
stick his ass out as far as it goes.
It is so bad. Like, this should have been where they realized, yeah, we need to stop having him do the sharpshooter. He's not good at it at all.
Well, I think we kind of surmised that he was doing it this way just to make sure he didn't hurt Hogan.
Yeah, but I feel like it exposes all the weaknesses of Rock's sharpshooter.
So yeah, Rock wins and they handshake and Hogan's face now. And there's this weird body language that they have of like Rock is excited and he wants Hogan to showboat for the crowd because he turned face pretty much after beating back the
and Hogan is just like, okay, fine.
And The Rock made him like come back like 3 fucking times from the ropes to showboat in front of the crowd, and you could tell by his face he was very clearly like uncomfortable.
He was drenched in sweat too.
Yeah,
I think
he was dripping.
I think the showboating happened after, after the initial handshake. Then the NW come out was all like, what's up with that? You shook his hand, and then they started.
They fight the NWO.
Yeah, Hogan beats up the NWO.
And
we have no enthusiasm for this match.
Well, The Rock comes out to save him, and then they do, and then
it wasn't bad. It was hype for like the crowd.
It's a touch overrated, I'd say.
Rock marked out. He was so excited, even though Hogan was just like, I don't want to sit down, brother. I'm so sweaty.
I think I remember Hogan actually saying Rock actually had to coax him into doing the third rock bottom. Is like, come on, one more.
So yeah, this all the pageantry finishes, and then we cut to WWF New York, where Big Show is. He's not booked.
Well, I'm not booked. He's just lifting people onto his shoulders.
He lifted a little girl onto his shoulders.
Yeah, and he's just sweaty and not in Canada.
Well, I'm not in Canada.
This event was sponsored by Little Caesars, and we have an attendance record of 68,237.
Yeah, the new bullshit attendance record.
Yeah. That's the capacity of the arena. We're going to pretend no one has left. So after that big match is the cool-off match, I guess, of Jazz v. Lita v. Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus has Canada pants.
And Lita has pink fishnet sleeves that make it look like she has a horrible skin condition.
And this is where Lita debuts what would become her theme song from then on, the Love, what we mentioned earlier, the Love, Fury, Passion, and Energy, except they actually play, unlike the other time, unlike what we're used to,
yeah.
Which is where they started off with the "So fuck your rules, man."
I listened to the song.
They start playing the entire song from beginning to end. Actually,
I was gonna say, I actually went out of my way to listen to the whole song, and it's like, first of all, it was totally something that like 2002 me would have listened to. And also, the normal intro's the ending of the song, actually, because it's like they have the opening where he's saying, or he's muttering, "So fuck your rules," and then the ending's like the breakdown at the end where they scream it, and that's her theme.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of edited together a little bit, but she's like a lost flower. And then they start discussing just the band name of Boy Hits Car.
Yep. The band is named Boy Hits Car. And the commentary brought that up. But this match was good.
It's the band name of what happened in Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm.
Trish's leg got hooked on the rope during a spot, if I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a really awkward like bump. She got like hooked on the rope.
Oh, one thing that bugged. I know we talked about that. Drowning Pool had their own game song for Triple H, and I'm just like thinking, he doesn't need another metal song. It's a perfectly good one with Motorhead.
I am the game. I am the game. Anyway, you're missing the fact that
they kept saying, "Here comes the pain," which is like, and Mega Fighter's like, "That's Brock Lesnar's thing."
That's Brock's thing, yeah. But back to the women's match, right?
Yeah. Top row fisherman suplex for the win. Fuck yeah.
That really great top rope fisherman suplex.
Yeah.
Jazzer James once again.
Oh, I thought we were already on to the Triple H match. I'm sorry.
We were not, but because Christian is leaving. Christian is heading for the car. He is celebrating the fact that he's got the hardcore title. And
He's
then Maven
hardcore.
runs in.
And then Maven just rolls him up and steals his taxi.
Yes.
It's like, woo! So yeah, Maven walks in as champion, walks out as champion.
No, actually, we were both right on that Triple H theme. The first chorus is "Here Comes the Pain," and then they switch to "Time to Play the Game."
Somebody told them, it's the fucking Brock Lesnar thing. Stop it. I know Brock Lesnar hasn't debuted yet, but
anyway, Triple H is here, and he's so orange.
Yes.
The lights come up. Awesome. He's brown. He's brown.
Yes.
30 heads of Triple H, one of them oddly dark-skinned.
It's like he went through like 10 cans of spray tan.
If he falls on his back, there's just like a smudge.
I think you once said, like, during the match, "What's that smear?" And I replied, "Triple H."
Yes.
Oh yeah, he fell to the outside, and the ape and the fucking barricade padding had this smear on it.
So bad.
Seafoam. Stephanie is wearing a seafoam colored jumpsuit.
It makes her look like a tube of toothpaste.
Yes, and she's got like purple extensions.
Oh yeah, she got the purple extensions, which was interesting.
Jericho's a little bit tanned, but Jesus Christ, like if you look at Triple H's back and shoulders, he's fucking brown.
Yeah.
He is so dark, it's fucking throwing me off. And his head is like Oompa Loompa orange.
Yes. It's Oompa Loompa time.
Oompa Loompa doobity doo. I'm gonna take that title from you.
Oompa Loompa Triple DD. I need to find a rhyme.
You're not ever going over me.
What do you get when you bury the midcard?
Alright. So during the match, Chris Jericho once again goes for the walls of Jericho through the table.
Yes.
He doesn't get it, but he tries, and I'm just so happy.
And I just started making fun of the fact that every time Triple H throws a punch, we'll just go, dude, or oof, doof,
yes,
doof. You can hear him so much.
To make that sound when he does like certain moves, he keeps going, doof,
doof.
Like, this was just an enjoyable, simple...
Triple H tries to pedigree him on the table. Jericho flips him over, Mexican table. Just gets obliterated.
I think when Triple H flips Jericho over, like, he backdrops him onto the table.
Triple H wins after a pretty good showing, honestly.
Yeah, this was a good match.
I think you mistook it one time that maybe it wasn't Spanish, it was Italians. Hey, what are you doing?
I was trying to do a joke about I was trying to do like Marcelo Rodriguez or Carlos Cabrera complaining about them destroying the table.
Oh no, my drinks.
But
man.
My Spanish accent is terrible.
All of our accents are terrible.
Italian.
So I just ended up Italian.
Man?
It's me, Marcelo Cabrera. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, Triple H wins, but what did you expect?
This
There was one little weird spot where Triple H. This was what the crowd by this time, by the way, is almost completely dead. I think they just kind of exhausted themselves with the Rock and Hogan match. Because Triple H DDTs Jericho onto a chair, and the crowd doesn't react at all to what I felt seemed like a really pivotal pinfall attempt. That seems like, one of those, oh shit, he might actually get the pin off kind of spot where the crowd goes, oh shit, the match might be over, and then they kind of do that. Oh, he didn't get it. But no, nothing.
Yeah, the match was pretty good. I just feel like it didn't have a lot to say about it because I think we've just seen this match before, like literally last month.
Yeah, we've seen this match. A lot of it was the crowd was kind of drained, and you could argue, well, you shouldn't have put this as the main event. I counter, they should have had the fucking Austin Rock versus NWO handicap match as the match they did at WrestleMania, not as just like, hey, let's put this on Raw.
Let's put it on Raw.
Like, that should have been the match. So then you would at least have, like, the crowd would be hyped, but at least it would be a little controlled, maybe.
So that was WrestleMania, and I will just say, bad build. Good event, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have, like, 7 more minutes, which is just another AMV, but this time it's of all the things that have been done at WrestleMania 18.
Yes, someone edited an AMV to just WrestleMania 18.
Oh, my God.
And with the Saliva playing the recording of Saliva playing Superstar live for the crowd.
Yep.
Superstar.
Bad build, but actually pretty good show overall.
Bad build. I really hope WWE gets better after this.
I really do.
And now we can kill this sour Skittles joke for fucking ever.
Yeah.
As long as we
sponsor Backlash.
Yes. We got to go to awards. MVP.
I think we were kind of debating on this, and while I would usually go with Kurt Angle, I'm willing to concede that Chris Jericho did, a good job. So I feel like he got this one.
Are we trying to snub Kurt Angle now?
He's gotten plenty of fucking award runs. He got one last week. Okay, I feel like we're fine.
My MVP personally was, I felt like Rock did a good job of carrying Hogan through that match, considering.
I agree, but we got to decide on one.
All right, Jericho.
Jericho or Rock?
I'll give it to Jericho. I'd say Jericho.
Okay, fine.
Underrated goes to Kane because he was busting his ass on that match.
Yeah, he made that match good.
Yeah,
for a match that meant
that,
nothing,
definitely.
He managed it. Why segment of the night? Stacey Keibler's
ass statue. Yes.
Why did they make a statue of her ass? I don't get it. It's not even all of her. It was just her ass.
And sign of the night goes to the clever guy who had the
Gold Dust rape.
Well, no, we're not going to that alley. No, bad alley.
We are going with the classic, the legendary. They are fighting over shampoo.
Yeah,
because they fucking were.
There was a lot of good signs, but that was like that's iconic.
Yeah.
There was a good. I think the best runner-up we saw was Kevin Nash's Super Shredder.
Kevin Nash's Super Shredder, which I love.
Yes,
I love a good reference. Jerry Lawler first count went up to 11. Again, we were noting though not a lot of that about Jazz.
Actually, I think he said something along the lines of he doesn't like jazz, and I said, "Go figure."
I
think we've confirmed officially that
Jerry Lawler might be racist.
Yes.
All right.
So the brand split should be coming up. I'm really excited about that.
Oh yeah, that's when we're gonna be probably doing the draft in a couple of weeks.
We're gonna be doing the draft, and I fucking love drafts. So.
Oh yeah.
That was WrestleMania X-8, WrestleMania Sour Skittles.
Yeah.
Good Ish.
Yeah,
You can follow.
good.
You can follow WrestleBoys on anywhere that you typically see a podcast, so Google Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes.
Even
Google-
though we used to say
some
that
other
we
stuff.
weren't on there.
We found out.
As it turns out, we were wrong.
You can also find us on YouTube. It's a little hard to find. I might make a dedicated YouTube for WrestleBoys if someone asks for that. But there is an official playlist that is in proper chronological order.
And of course, the website that we created, that Ellie created this podcast on to begin with, Anchor.
Yeah, Anchor's got it.
And you can follow us on Twitter at WrestleBoys, WRASSLEBOYS.
at WRASSLEBOYS.
Yes. One of us is running it. You will not figure out who.
Somebody's responsible for this.
Somebody's responsible for this, and it's a secret.
And finally, as we always say to end off WrestleBoys,
doof, doof,
doof,
doof.